Hi guys, it's Morgan, and today I'm doing my November wrap-up. I'm tired, I do apologize for that. So I only read 6 books and 2 short stories this month, mostly because I didn't feel like reading sometimes, and I watched TV instead. But that's still pretty good. I feel like 6 is a good amount of books. I'm going to start with my least favorite to my favorite. And so I have discovered I am not a short story lover. I've read 2 of them and I didn't really like them very much. So that's what we're starting with. Is the first one is Help Me Follow My Sister into the Land of the Dead by Carmen Maria Machado. I got this short story in my October Page Habit box. It's only 25 pages. I read it really fast. I liked the idea of the story. I just feel like there wasn't enough to it, and that's why I only gave it 1 star. It's about this girl who starts a GoFundMe page to pay for passage into the land of the dead because people like to go there to party, and her sister has crossed over into the land of the dead and she needs to get in contact with her because their parents died. And so that's what the story is about, is her getting a GoFundMe page together and then going to rescue her sister from the land of the dead. So it was a really cool story. I wanted to know more about how it worked and why this happened and how people found out how to go into the land of the dead. And it was just didn't fill my need for more, I guess. So that's probably why I didn't like it very much. But yeah. And then the other one I read was Nightingale by Jean Copeland. This is the one my mom got in her Page Habit box for October. I like this one better. I gave this 2 stars. It's about this girl who manages an all-girls band that plays at her uncle's club, and she falls in love with the lead singer, and so it was good. I mean, it was definitely better for a short story because there wasn't all these crazy supernatural elements that were there, and I was like, okay, how does that work? Because I am a very technical thinker sometimes, and I overthink things. This book made a lot of sense, but it was super short. It was longer, it was like 35 pages, but I liked this one better. 2 out of 5 stars. The next book I read is a Kindle book. I believe I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Here's the picture. It's The Revelation Room by Mark Tilbury. So there's the picture. And The Revelation Room is about this 22-year-old kid whose father is a private investigator. He's a retired cop who became a private investigator, and his father calls him out of the blue and says, I need your help. Don't call the police. And that's basically all he knows. And so he has to find out where his father is. His father was working on a case. This couple had hired him to find their daughter, who joined a cult. And so he called his son for help. And so his son goes through all this stuff. Him and his friend end up joining the cult and trying to find his father. And lots of crazy stuff happened. I did enjoy it. It was really good. I read it really fast. I think I read it in 2 days. It's like a 300-page book, 250-page book. And I did end up buying the second book on my Kindle because it was like $1. But I liked it. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I'm kind of excited to read the next book. It's like a series where the son gets more involved with his father's private investigation company. So it does sound interesting. I never have been interested in those kind of books where it's like a detective or private investigator, but this one was good. So I'll try the second book to see if I like it. And then the next book I read is The Secret School by Abby. I also gave this 3 out of 5 stars. This book follows a group of children in the 1900s, I think 1925. And it's a 1-room schoolhouse. There's 8 students, and in the middle, not in the middle, like last couple of months of the school year, the teacher has to leave because her mother had a stroke, and the head of the school board decides, well, it's too late to get another teacher. You guys are just going to have to repeat this year next year. And so the kids decide that this girl, Ida, she's an 8th grader, She's the smartest kid in the class. She should become their new teacher because her and her friend Tom are both 8th graders. They would take an exit exam so that they would be able to go to high school because she wants to be a teacher, which requires high school and a year of college. And she doesn't want to have to wait a whole nother year to get this, be able to go to high school. So that's what it's about. It's about the kids teaching themselves, so they don't have to repeat the year. It was cute. It made me kind of think of Little House on the Prairie, even though it's about 100 years later. But it was good. I did enjoy it. It's super short. It's like 150 pages, but I did enjoy it. And then the next book is Daniel X. Watch the Skies by James Patterson and Ned Rust. This was also a 3 out of 5 star book. The first book, I believe I gave 4 stars. I did like it better. This book was, I don't know. I've read it before, and I made it about halfway, and I was like, I don't know if I want to finish this book. It's super boring so far. Nothing's happening. And then part 2 happened, the second half, and it was like, man, this book is great. And so it ended up with a 3 out of 5 stars because the second half was fantastic, and the first half was eh. But this book series follows a kid named Daniel X, who is an alien on planet Earth. He's hunting bad aliens to protect humans. He has a most wanted list. The first book, he goes after the 6th most wanted alien on planet Earth, and then this book, he goes after the 5th most wanted alien on planet Earth. So, it was good. I liked it. The second half, like I said, was better than the first half. But, there you go. So, the next book I read is Witch Season Summer by Jeff Marriott. This is a bind-up of books 1 and 2. I'm on the second book right now. This, if you couldn't guess, is about a witch named Season. And this girl and her 5 roommates, she's 19, 20, like her roommates, she's living in California, she's working a summer job so she can go to college. Same with most of her roommates, they're saving up for college, and they all work at this resort, and one day they all come home and there's this dude on their doorstep dying. He's like bleeding everywhere and sticking out of the bushes, and they end up helping him. Most of them skeptically. The main character is Carrie, and she is the only one who trusts this man. And it turns out that he's a witch hunting a bad witch named Season, and it's kind of about this group of friends helping this guy, Daniel, this witch, try to kill this evil witch. And so that's what the first book is about. I really, really liked the first book. I had a hard time putting it down. And then the end happened, and it definitely wasn't something that I expected, but it's definitely not what I wanted to happen. It makes me not want to continue. It's a quartet series. There's summer, fall, winter, spring. I'm currently 52 pages into the second book, chapter 4. I'm not sure if I want to finish it because this series just totally went in a different direction. I'm not excited or happy about the direction it's going in, and it just makes me not want to read it. I'm going to try, I'm going to at least read one more chapter just to see, but yeah, that ending, I know I still gave it 4 out of 5 stars because it was so fantastic. I read it so fast I couldn't get enough. It was just that end, and I will give this guy some credit, Jeff, because I did not see it coming, and it definitely surprised me. That's why I still gave it a high rating. It just wasn't what I wanted to happen, but he did surprise me, so yeah. I'll have to let you guys know if I do end up finishing this book, but I'm not sure. Yeah. And then the next book I read, also a 4 out of 5 star book. It's the second Michael Vey book, Rise of the L Elgin, or Elgin. I don't know how to say it. I used to call it Elgin. Now I'm kind of saying Elgin, like generation, by Richard Paul Evans. So if anybody knows how to properly pronounce that word, please let me know. This book series follows a kid named Michael Vey, and he has these electrical powers. In the first book, he meets this other girl who has electrical powers similar to his. He thought he was the only one, and they end up finding out there's more kids like them. They find out why they have these powers, and that there's this guy out to use them for his own schemes, And this is a continuation, obviously, of the first book. There was, in the beginning of the first book, Michael's mother was kidnapped, and in this book, they're rescuing her. So they end up going to Peru and meeting other people, and it's really good. I've only read the first 3. I'm rereading them because the 7th just came out. The final book. I don't know what you call it, a 7-book series. This book was good. I give 4 to 5 stars. I'm really excited to pick up the 3rd book. The only thing about this book is the reason it didn't get 5 stars. The beginning was good. And then the middle was not as good. And then the ending was fantastic. So it kind of got really slow in the middle for me. But I finished it. I got to the end. I was like, man, I can't believe I had this sitting on my shelf for 2 weeks. Like, oh, I should read this. So I finished it. It was good. And then the final book that got 5 out of 5 stars. It's like one of my new favorite books. Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. This book was fantastic. I read the first half over a few days, and then I went out of town and visited my aunt for 4 days, and I ended up reading the second half of the book in one sitting. So I literally read like 100+ pages in one sitting because it was so good. And I'm sad because I don't have the second and third book. But if you don't know, this is based in a world, it's kind of, I think it's called the Grishaverse. I think that's what it's called. But there are these people called Grisha who have these special power abilities, and they are regarded as like almost royalty, I want to say. They're soldiers in this army. They're the second army, or whatever you want to call it. And this girl ends up discovering that she is a Grisha very late, after they normally discover it when they're children, very young children. She was tested, and it was discovered that she didn't have what a Grisha needed. And so her best friend is attacked and almost killed, and she ends up unleashing this amazing power. And so it follows her learning how to control these powers, trying to help the people from this thing called a Shadowfold that has these monsters that kill people. And so it's dividing the kingdom in half. To get to one side, you have to go through. And so she's trying to control her powers so that she can help get rid of this Shadowfold. So it is very, very good. It's fantastic. I loved it so much. I just need the second and third book so bad. But anyway, 5 out of 5 stars. It was fantastic. And that's it for my wrap-up. 6 books, 2 short stories. I do apologize. I haven't posted a video, I think, in a week and a half. I'm going to try and post this video today, but I'm not sure how sporadic my videos are going to be this month. Just this week, I'm working a 55-hour week, and it's almost Christmas. I have some birthdays for some of my siblings coming up, and there's a lot going on. I'm not sure how sporadic the videos will be. I have a couple of backup videos that I'll probably be posting. It just really depends on how tired I am this week, if I'm going to get another one out before the weekend. I'm hoping to. I'm not sure. I'm kind of bummed that I haven't. I had a 4-day weekend, and I was just too lazy to edit videos. And it was Thanksgiving and Black Friday, and yeah, it was crazy. And this video is super long because I've been babbling, and I do apologize. But if you're still here, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!